Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Joe and Pup show. Of course, as you know, I'm Joe.
And my name is Pup.
And we talk about just about anything under the sun. Anything that has to do with, local news, what's going on around town here, what goes around the world, in the United States, anything like that. So, Pup, what would you like to talk about today?
I have a good one for you. What do you think about all the Democrats leaving Texas because they don't want to vote on redistricting?
Well, to tell you the truth, Pup, I think they're a bunch of freaking morons.
Well, I think the same way. They were voted in to do a job and now they leave because now they don't want to do it.
You see, the reason why they left is due to the fact that in the Texas House, there's more Republicans than Democrats, and the Democrats don't want to redistrict Texas because it would give them less seats. So without them being there, there's the vote cannot be cast because they have to have Democrats there as well. You can. It's almost like what the House and the Senate do in the United States Senate and House. They have a filibuster. This is their way of filibustering.
Well, also from what I have heard is that the Texas governor plans to also have them arrested.
Well, yes, he is, and I don't know how to the phrase this. I wouldn't say some people would say it's impeding on a government function, but I think it's more hampering with a government function because if you impede a government function, is like somebody walking in on their vote and sitting there and trying to stop the vote when they're not even a member of Congress there. But if you impede on a vote, which means you're supposed to be there legally, I think, to be part of the vote. But if you know just leave, it's like they can't take the vote, so it's impeding on a government function. Somebody correct me out there if I'm wrong on that.
And what do you think about them possibly losing their jobs?
Well, Pop, I fully agree that they should lose their jobs because they were voted in to do a job. They didn't show up to do it, and this is what we call dereliction of duty from back when I was in the military. You know, say like if a sergeant turned around and told me to do something and I didn't show up to do it, that would be dereliction of duty, and I can be in trouble for that. So I think all around they should be fired.
I understand that, but would firing all of them stop the vote as well?
Well, no, not really, because due to the fact that here's what would happen. They won't come to the Capitol to do the vote. So what they'll do is when they come back, they will have them arrested, brought to the Capitol for the vote. They'll sit them down, and even if they don't vote at all, as long as they're in there representing their districts, then the vote can continue as planned. Even if they don't raise their hand for yay or nay or abstain, they're there for the vote and they just refuse to vote. And then when the vote is taken and is passed, then they will be fired because more than likely their district will be taken up by a Republican seat and they're fired from there. But in order for that vote to pass, you have to have representation. And because they're not there, they're not representing the Democratic Party. And that's why the vote's stopping. So they have to be there for the vote.
Well, what if they are on vacation or sick? Do they still have to attend the vote?
Well, that's a good, solid question, Pup. It's kind of like a yes and no answer. If they're on vacation, 9 times out of 10, they have to cut their vacation short just so they can take the vote. They have to be there for their district. Now, if they're sick or in the hospital per se, then I think they sign some paperwork and give it to one of their staffers who takes it to where the voting is going to be, and with their yes or no or abstain answer.
Are there anything else you would like to say on this subject?
Well, if I have to say anything about it, it's going to be this. It doesn't matter whether you are elected to do a job or you're hired to do a job, you need to do your job. Because if you don't, then you deserve to be fired.
While we still have plenty of time left, is there anything else you would like to talk about?
I mean, yeah, there's plenty of things we can talk about, Pup, but I would like to hear your views on what's going on in Texas.
I feel the same as you except the part about having them arrested because I feel that they have committed any crime that I can think of.
Well, pup, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You have yours, I have mine, everybody else has theirs. But, who's to say?
Well, here is something we can talk about. I think President Trump is doing a great job in office by taking care of the border, conflict around the world, and the cost of living. What do you think?
Oh, yes, I think President Trump's doing an excellent job with all that, especially with closing off the border. The border walls are starting to get rebuilt. He's starting to get rid of all the criminal illegals, or the what we call the more high profile ones. But if they find a illegal immigrant along the way, then yeah, they have to be deported too because they are here illegally. Um, we're still having a slight problem with some of the conflicts all over the world, but those are starting to get cleaned up really nice. Our economy is going to start getting better with all the tariffs and everything that Trump's putting out. We've seen that happen already, and but there is a few things left uh, that kind of need to be addressed. We need to finish turning around and doing this damn Epstein thing, and which is still going on, and also getting all these people prosecuted for who tried to prosecute Trump.
Well, that's true. We need to get those things out of the way as soon as possible. Also, he is starting to bring jobs back.
Well, that's true too. I mean, we really need to get our jobs back in America so we can get good, hardworking Americans back to work. People who want jobs, who can't have jobs because they're all overseas. We need to bring them back so we can build a stronger economy.
Yes, we need the jobs because a lot of people here are looking for good paying jobs.
Yeah, that's true. And also, we are starting to get out of this woke bullshit.
Thank God, that stuff was starting to give me a headache, and that transgender shit was just unreal.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, hell, back in my day, if one of the guys were to turn around and say, "Well, I'm a transgender. I'm going out for women's sports," you know what would happen to them? They would get their ass beat by a nearby bully. That's what would happen.
That is so true. I think they should bring back bullying. What do you think?
Well, no, not really, because you bring back bullying in schools and people are going to start getting hurt. Kids aren't going to be coming to school because they're getting bullied, or some kids are going to be bringing weapons into school because they are getting bullied. They need the upper hand, so they're going to end up killing the bully and going to jail. No, I don't really think bullying should be brought back in. What I think should be brought back in the schools anymore today is the Pledge of Allegiance and the morning prayer.
And do you think that will work?
Well, I think it will help some, but one of the things we really need to do is get rid of some of these teachers who are teaching this woke crap, so it can be eliminated altogether.
Well, now I can fully agree with you.
Well, I believe that should do it for this episode of the Joe and Pup Show.
Yes, also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yes, and also I'm going to be putting down my other two YouTube channels, my Timbers Itching to Scratch PA Lottery and my animations channel down below in the around the comment section down below there. So until next time, we will catch you on the flip side.